We were guaranteed the spookiest Halloween ever with Brexit, so you were probably pretty disappointed when it was postponed by a few months. Well, no worries, because I've got you. I have an even spookier topic. Lesbian sex. Well, kind of. I am going to be speaking to you about dental dams. But Sarah, I've never heard of a dental dam. Yeah, well, I hadn't heard of them until I was about 18, actually. They are a form of contraception that go over a woman's vagina when she's having oral sex. Spooky. But fun fact, they are not available anywhere. I didn't realize this until I was with my current boyfriend, who is trans. So, how do I put this lightly? We both have vaginas. Yes, now it's finally out there on the internet, so my family can stop messaging me asking about my boyfriend's genitals. So the story starts when earlier this year, the two of us were hanging out and we weren't sure whether we were going to have sex. But we figured if we didn't have any form of protection, then we definitely wouldn't. So off we went. He had his C card, which apparently you can get free condoms with. We went to a little pharmacy in a little village, asked them for dental dams. They didn't know what we were on about. So we thought, no problem, we'll just go to a bigger pharmacy. So we took a detour to quite a large Boots. It had 2 stories. We looked in the contraception aisle and we couldn't find any dental dams. So we asked the employees and they said they didn't think Boots stocked them. In short, we went to every place we could think of, and nowhere had dental dams. We'd originally not expected them to be readily available everywhere, but we hadn't expected them to be nowhere. At this point, it was literally just a case of we need to find some, they must exist. So we went to the local health clinic and we were like, do you guys have dental dams? And they were like, I don't know what those are. And then the person, it's someone doing paperwork in the background, was like, yes, I have some, here you go. So you might say, okay, Sarah, so you and your boyfriend are clean freaks. Why should the rest of us care about dental dams? For a start, I originally said lesbian sex. I mean, technically me and Aiden are a straight couple, so... Actually, anyone can go down on a girl. Any gender! Please go down on your girlfriends! I can't think of a snappy way to say that I'm including everyone with a vagina in that umbrella term, so just take my word for it. Okay, so when I was editing this, Aiden pointed out to me that it's worth mentioning dental dams aren't just for vaginal sex, they're for any mouth to genital contact. So that includes the entire genital area and butts. Obviously that means that they're inclusive for both men and women, straight and gay couples. I think the most common use for them would be mouth to vagina, which is why I brought up the lesbian sex thing. But obviously it's not exclusive to lesbian sex. Sorry that I've been a little unclear about that. It's just making this has been like... The primary purpose for dental dams is preventing sexually transmitted diseases and infections. According to the NHS website, through oral sex, people commonly catch gonorrhea, genital herpes, and syphilis. But less frequently, people also catch things like chlamydia, genital warts, and the big scary one, HIV. The Chester Road surgery in Birmingham says that it's more likely that you'll catch HIV if someone has like a bleeding gum or if there's some sort of abscess somewhere anyway. But the fact is it is a possibility. So after Aiden and I had been going all over England looking for dental dams, I did my own little investigation up here in Scotland to see where dental dams were available. So I had a look in Superdrug, at the Morrison's supermarket, went into Poundland, which didn't actually have normal condoms, but they did have vitality supplements. So if you only want to pay £1 for those, Poundland's your place. And I went into Boots again. So the Boots where I live is also quite big. That made me quite annoyed actually because they're a pharmacy and they do photo printing, but they don't have dental dams. It's not like they have a couple of condoms. They've got all these different condoms. They've got all these different lubes. They've got this funky pleasure ring, all that stuff. They even have luxury condoms, but nothing for female oral sex. So I went to my local health centre because I thought the one in England was quite useful, so I'll give that a go. So when I asked for dental dams, the woman said that they don't stock them anymore because they don't prevent diseases. So that I can't find anything that says that they don't prevent diseases, like that's their purpose. On one hand, I think, yeah, it's fair that the NHS doesn't want to stock them because obviously they don't prevent pregnancy, they aren't as widely used. On the other hand, they do also provide lube, which doesn't prevent pregnancy or prevent diseases either. So I said, that's fine, what else do you have? Because if you give me normal condoms, then I can make those into dental dams. Sidebar! How to make normal condoms into dental dams. First of all, you open up your condom. Then you've got your condom. You get your scissors and you chop off the little bit at the end, and then you just cut down the long edge so that you make a little rectangle. If I get out my actual dental dam, you can immediately see that the condom one is way smaller. Also, the condom one won't stop sticking to itself. I forgot how sticky actual condoms are. Dental dams don't have all the extra lube because obviously you don't need that. Also, who wants to be getting out scissors and doing like a little arts and crafts thing in an intimate moment? No. So anyway, I asked for normal condoms to make into dental dams. And she said, oh, I could give you a female condom which goes up inside you. I'm not going to explain specifically why that doesn't help me in Aiden's situation. I think it should be pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, she didn't know about my situation, but if someone comes in asking for dental dams, a female internal condom isn't a suitable alternative. So then I think she just wanted to get rid of me, which is kind of fair enough. So she just gave me about 30 free condoms that I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So at this point, I was really thinking that there are no dental dams in Scotland, or at least in Perthshire. But an adult shop in Dundee was about to reignite my faith in humanity. Luckily, when I was making this video, I was going to Dundee for an event anyway, so on my way in, I went to a adult shop called Desire. An elderly man reached up behind all his contraception, and right at the very back, he found a dusty, literally he dusted it off before he handed it to me, a single dusty dental dam. And I walked outside and I checked the expiry date. 2014. So to be clear, the point that I'm not trying to make is, oh, he only had one and it's really old. Because obviously the reason he only had one is because there isn't a demand for them. I will admit that there is not a demand for them. And there are several reasons for this. So for a start, people don't know that they exist. Like I said, I didn't find out about them until I was 18, and then I didn't see one again for 3-4 years. I asked about them at the last few prides that I've been to. The answer I got every single time from both adult stores and from health providers was, we haven't got any, but people have been asking about them throughout the day. So I think maybe the LGBT community is a little bit more in tune to the fact that they exist, but still we can't get hold of them. They aren't just a thing for lesbian women to use. They are for anyone who has a vagina. There are some people who are talking about dental dams online. The Metro website and the Glamour website have both done articles on them. Both these articles concluded that they didn't like dental dams, mainly because people are embarrassed to bring them out and also they don't feel that great. But both articles also weighed up that this is partly because nowhere near the amount of research has gone into them that's gone into male condom. You can see this just from looking at the selection at somewhere like Boots. You have all this stuff that's intended for pleasure that isn't there for safety. I'm not trying to say that lubricants aren't necessary. I'm trying to say that dental dams are also necessary. Susanna Weiss, or Weiss? I don't want to pronounce her name wrong, from Glamour does talk about the fact that the lack of dental dams can partly be attributed to the fact that women's health is still taboo. I just find it amazing that I can go into a shop in King's Cross and be looking in the female health section for ages and finding no pads or tampons, and go into the deodorant section and that's where they're hidden. I wish I was making this up, but this literally happened 2 weeks ago. If we were more comfortable talking about women's health and therefore researching into it, then we might have dental dams that don't feel like, as Susanna's partner said, licking a glove, or like Susanna said, being fingered with your underwear still on. Neither of those are positive descriptions. But a lot of people complain that they don't like how condoms feel, yet people still very comfortably use them because they're there to be protective. And why do we protect our penises but not our mouths? Ugh. So I have 3 takeaways for this. Number 1. I'd love if people were given more education on them. And this isn't just about dental dams. We all know sex education is a mess. Number 2. Don't be afraid to use protection during oral, especially on something like a one-night stand. You don't know what people have. I'm not trying to say a dental dam is going to stop you from getting AIDS and save your life. I'm just saying it might prevent you a little bit of itching or discomfort that you might get from genital warts. And even if you don't want to use a dental dam or a condom during oral, don't shame others for doing so. Number 3. Please can somewhere stock dental dams. Doesn't have to be the NHS. I'm not expecting to get them for free, but I want to be able to get them somewhere. So yeah, go out there and try a dental dam if you've not tried them. You can get them on Amazon. You can't get them anywhere else. See how it goes. Let me know in the comments. Really awkward, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!